Great that you're watching the SAI Conference 2015. We're here in London. My name is Lars Sørensen, and I have the pleasure of talking to exhibitors, participants, also the presenters, some keynote speakers, and we're creating these small videos. If you like them, don't forget to subscribe later on our YouTube channel, so we make sure that you get all the content that we've created here. We've taped quite a lot of the entire keynotes. You can watch them. And right now, we're going to talk to one of the presenters of a paper, Greg Henderson, from the Queen Mary University here in London. You just had your presentation yesterday. How did it go?
Hi. Yes, it went very well, thank you. Yeah, very, very interesting. It's a good crowd here. Lots of different tracks going on simultaneously, so you get lots of people who are really interested in the subject. So,
and the subject, you're specializing in a CCTV and the processing of all those images it creates. Is that a right summarization?
So we're processing CCTV footage for forensic analysis for police investigations. So street level videos are very different to kind of production quality videos like you're used to.
Yeah.
So we typically get quite low quality, low frame rates, and very difficult to analyze using traditional techniques of computer vision because they're tested typically on higher quality, and if you apply those to the lower quality, then you just don't get the result. So we're helping the police to use automated techniques to investigate kind of the aftermath of crime scenes.
Because now we're talking about two things, like the CCTV would usually be, I guess, a reasonable quality of video, because there would be like those cameras we see all over London, like here, and then the combination with, like you're saying, the low quality, the images that are available, like for the police, if someone puts a video on YouTube or on Facebook, it would be a combination of all those images together.
Yes, that's right. So after an incident, the police will try to get as much CCTV image from as many sources as they can. So they have, as you mentioned, the CCTV images around town, typically local authority, and they're reasonable quality. And then you have other videos from private
mobiles or stuff like that.
Yeah, mobile phones, handheld devices, but also shops from their video systems, which tend to be slightly lower quality, lower frame rates. So the police have to trawl through all of this video and trying to identify the people that they're interested in, and that's obviously a very labour-intensive task.
Your project and your paper is on the solution, and you just mentioned it, is the problem is it's so labor intensive. How do they do it now? Because I can almost not imagine if like in our conversation just before the interview, you mentioned the London riots.
That's
obviously
right.
I guess most of the people would know about this incident. It went international in the press. Like, how many gigabytes of data there was, because everybody was also filming it. There were the cameras. How did they manage?
I mean, the London riots of 2011 has been a big source of interest, and there's been many convictions off the back of it, and there are thousands of hours and terabytes of data that
they're doing it manually now?
And it's all been done manually. So in London, the Metropolitan Police have a dedicated team of officers who look at CCTV video, and they also use some volunteers as well. But it's all a manual task to try to coordinate all of those videos. So we're trying to help to bring some level of automation to that to try to help speed things up.
You're 15 months into the project right now, so it's not finished, not completed yet. But could you share with us a little bit of the information that you're working on to code and to analyze? Because I can imagine facial recognition, most of the people would think of, and they know of it. But are there also other ways to make sure that you're looking at the same person, or to link all the images?
Yeah, so it's a 4-year project. So we're kind of it's an ongoing process, and there's lots of different modules. It's a European-wide project that I work in, and so my particular area is looking at kind of low-level kind of interest. So maybe logos, if somebody's wearing clothing with distinctive logos, maybe tattoos, that are distinctive. So, this is quite a sort of fine granularity of information, but you get that from poor quality images, and which is where the challenge is.
Yeah.
And then other areas the projects are looking at, you mentioned facial recognition, so the face detection and recognition, vehicles, license plate analysis, as well as audio as well. So they're part of the projects that are doing audio and textual analysis too.
It's going to be pretty much everything that creates like a sign or a trademark. Could we say it like that?
Yeah, absolutely.
A voice.
So really anything that is distinctive.
That's the word I was looking for.
That we can use to kind of link together. So even if some information is missing in some parts of the video, if we can find something that links it to another part of video, there may be some better clarity around something different, and then we can kind of piece the jigsaw together, or at least give the police the information in order to do the piecing together.
In what way are you limited at all by the possibilities that the technique offer you, like the technical options we have to create this? Because it's a lot of data that is being created and has to be analyzed and has to be layered over each other.
So the volumes of data are a real problem even today in the manual sense. So every piece of video comes in on a separate DVD, and the police spend a lot of time trying to access that data and to load it onto their systems, and the volume of data is vast. So there's a practical element of the volume of data, and then obviously from our point of view, that it then extends into large processing time, so it takes a long time to process it. But then if you compare that to how long it takes the police or human beings to go through it, then the savings are still significant, even though the processing may take a reasonable amount of time. And privacy is obviously a big concern in this area as well. So we have to be very sensitive to the privacy of the people in the videos. So they're very tightly controlled in how we can access the data. We can't hold the data, excuse me, on very accessible systems. They're tightly controlled, so that we're not in breach of any of the problems in that's resolving. Because we're a European project, we have to be sensitive to the different laws in the different countries relating to data protection and privacy.
Very interesting. 15 months on the go, so a couple of years to go.
Absolutely.
I wish you very best of luck, also in the process of your PhD, and hopefully maybe you even win, because during the SAI conference we don't only admit those papers and see the presentation of the papers, but we'll also, in the end of the conference, we'll be handing out a prize to the Best Paper Award. So I wish you the best of luck in this little competition, and thank you for your time of being here. So if you're liking this content, and maybe you know some other people that operate in this field, be sure to share this video and to like it, and please subscribe to our YouTube channel so we can offer you all the content of the SAI conference 2015 in London. My name is Lars Sørensen, and maybe I see you here next year.